Good evening, everybody. Songs for Sunday again, and with a sort of vaguely historical theme. Hey, I'm a bit nervous tonight. I realised last week rather a lot of people watched this, which is a bit disquieting. A lot of people don't have anything better to do with their time. However, historical songs. In real life, I'm sort of an archaeologist, and this is a song about the really interesting people archaeologists sometimes meet, called Smile for Me. Smile for me, it's good to see you smile. Oh, smile for me, it's good to see you smile. I met you on a summer's day. I was digging down through heavy clay. 6 feet under, there you lay, you were smiling. Smile for me, it's good to see you smile. Oh, smile for me, it's good to see you smile. Decomposition and decay are not enough to cause dismay. Instead, the dead just grin all day, seem smiling. Now, I was slightly taken aback. I wanted to say requiescat in pacem. That's a phrase in Latin that in fact you might understand. I know it may seem quite absurd, but it's centuries since you got it heard. I needed to find out the right words, not many. Take a hand. So I said, smile for me, it's good to see you smile. Oh, smile for me, it's good to see you smile. This joy that death could not eclipse, some lover's kiss left on your lips, or one last plate of fish and chips left you smiling. Now I know you're just an empty bed, a hollow husk where life has fled, a table where the worms have fed. There's nothing here that's real, where someone was but now is not, an abandoned car in death's gridlock. The driver's moved on now, he's got wings. Why should he need wheels? Oh, smile for me, it's good to see you smile. Oh, smile for me, it's good to see you smile. I too would like, when all is done, the clocks have stopped, the sand is run, to leave a happy skeleton, one that's smiling. Right, going back through a bit of history. Prehistory, I think we'll start with. And with a, not local, but a very fine stone circle we visited some years ago in the Orkneys. Cut a long story short, but we arrived there to take pictures in the evening, and suddenly realised other visitors weren't ordinary tourists, but they were having a ritual. Now, I'm a great believer in religious freedom, provided you don't hurt anybody else, but I strongly suspect they had no idea what they were really doing, because we don't really know what people did in stone circles. And it's one of these, I use a phrase which comes in the song, the past that never was, which I'm a bit suspicious of. Anyway, power of the stones. Now when she is shaking, though her lips may move, she doesn't make a sound. Her mind is in a cosmic groove. Damien reads seekers after Avalon have come from Birmingham. Drawn 800 miles in their DRX transit van. It's the power of the stones. Oh, the power of the stones. Feel it in your fingers, resonating in your bones. This is the hour of the power of the stones. Letitia, she is wishing she was carrying less weight. Must be the only reason she has failed to levitate. Peregrine is regretting that he forgot to pack his four-drooling robes. He has to make do with an anorak. Persephone is standing with both her arms upraised. Fast and swaying, her eyes are going glazed. It's the power of the stones. Oh, the power of the stones. Feel it in your fingers, resonating in your bones. This is the hour of the power of the stones. Came to look. There's nothing about this written in my guidebook. Just what it is they're doing, I don't really want to know. I've read about the Neolithic. I'm not sure I want to go. It's the power of the stones. Oh, the power of the stones. Feel it in your fingers, resonating in your bones. This is the hour of the power of the stones. Well, the real old-time religion of the pick and mix kind demands the ritual sacrifice of the human mind. Old age, new age, nothing's changed. Don't you worry about history, you can have that rearranged. Fact or fiction, they're all the same because you've got an all-season ticket to the past that never was. And the power of the stones. Oh, the power of the stones. Feel it in your fingers, resonating in your bones. The power of the stones. This is the hour of the power of the stones. This is the hour of the power of the stones. Power of the stones. Right, to get a bit more local. Of course, I suppose our most famous bit of archaeology in Northumberland is the wall that Hadrian had built from coast to coast to keep the Scots out, or to keep the Romans out of Scotland. And this is a song. It's two verses about the Roman wall and a verse of musing on walls in general. midway between the high fells and the sea. Times and seasons of man and of nature, they ebb and flow and roll over me. There was a time, this was the edge of an empire. Romans came from the southern lands, made a desolation, though they called it peace. That peace was held in an iron hand. Far from their homes in France and Spain, how their mercenaries cursed our winter chill, pulled their cloaks around them as they gave us sword point encouragement to make us build. And we built the wall. We built the wall. We built the wall. We built the wall. We were not fools, we did not rise up against them. There were livings to be made in those frontier towns. Burned with incense as the custom required, did as we were bidden for a while. We bowed down. So for 70 miles they patrolled the line, from the Tyne to the Solway Sound. For 3 centuries their beacons blazed across a weary land, divided by the wall, by the wall, by the wall, by the wall. The river still runs here in the Green Valley, but the ghosts of the legions fade with every dawn. Their wall tumbled stone, with the grass growing over, but the shape-shifting empire is always being reborn. Oh, but I look for a kingdom that does not need borders, where peace is not held with the sword or the gun. No longer inside, no longer outside, where broken and fractured mankind can be one without a war, without a war, without a war. By the river, here in the Green Valley, midway between the high fells and the sea. Times and seasons of man and of nature, they ebb and flow and roll over me. Roll over me. Roll over me. Right, historically, coming forwards 300 or 400 years, and I mentioned in that song, I look for a kingdom that does not need borders, where peace is not held with the sword or the gun. Well, that sort of kingdom was first announced in this neck of the woods by monks who'd come across from Iona in the 700s, and they came to Holy Island, which became a very important place and still is to me and many others a very important place. And this is a song about Holy Island. It's written after going there. You may well know the place. And there are some old boats have been pulled well in from the coast and turned upside down and made into fishermen's huts. And this is just the image of an abandoned boat, really wanting to go back to the sea, as it were. Saying it's called Flood Tide. The edge of the land to walk the dry sand at the high water line, where a boat lies before me, empty and abandoned, one more derelict, the sea left behind. With the tide, one distant spring morning, with a salt wind and seagulls cry, mocking the waves. Now her paint has long faded, ironwork is rusted, the sand on the shore fast become her grave. Waiting for the flood tide, for the flood tide to flow and to lift her up high and to carry her far to the ocean again. Stood in the darkness, cold in the wind that drives in from the sea, straining my eyes to see moonlight reflected on the crests of those dark waves, still so far from me. I'm just one of the many who would have been sailors, one of the many who long to be free. Now our hopes and our dreams just flotsam and jetsam on salt whitened sand at the edge of the sea. Waiting for the flood tide, for the flood tide to flow and to lift me up high and to carry me far to the ocean again. Out on those dark waters, out to the wide rolling sea once again, where the healer of souls will still meet with sailors to take all their sorrow and carry their pain. Take all their sorrow to carry their pain. Right, and a song about another island, not Holy Island, but about 20 odd miles south, is Coquet Island, off the coast at Amble, not far from Warkworth. That had a medieval monastery on it, much as the Holy Island and the Farns had. This was owned by Tynemouth Priory. Now, on Holy Island, St Cuthbert was the great saint, and pilgrims would flock there, which was good for the monks. Tynemouth Priory decided they should have a saint of their own. So meet one of the lesser known northeastern saints, Saint Henry. He may, some cynical scholars say, be an invention of the monks of Tynemouth. We don't know much about him. He dated the 11th century. He was a young Danish nobleman who fled an arranged marriage. He had horribly ulcerated knees from praying kneeling on sharp rocks. He had one miracle in which he saw a cloud, and I quote, in the form of a monstrous woman pursuing a medieval ship, and he said, "That ship will sink," and it did. I suppose medieval ships sank very frequently. And then the last bit of the story is, when he died, the people on the mainland, a couple of miles away, heard his bell ringing, and when they went across in their boats, they found him sitting there holding the bell rope, but dead. So anyway, putting those little bits together, I thought we needed a song about St Henry, because he isn't very well known. He could do with it. So this is a song called The Last Temptation of St Henry. It includes a few bits of information. Henry himself, the marriage he's supposed to have fled from, the way he was found dead. And ringing the bell, I've mentioned Michael being engraved on the brass. Bell towers became popular in English churches in the 1100s, and Saint Michael was the great saint, and the idea was you needed Saint Michael to accompany your soul to heaven when you died, so it was a good thing to invoke him and to have his name on the bell, so in a sense it was heard whenever the bell was rung. So that's where Michael comes into it. Henry lies on his bed of stones, the bitter wind cuts to his bones. Whose are the sins that you atone for here on Coquet Island? Does your penance pay for days gone by here in this place where shadows lie? Day and night the seabirds cry on lonely Coquet Island. Was it your forefather's sin, your wild sea rover kith and kin, whose axe and sword brought fear within all Christian hearts? A feasting hall your parents signed, the promise of a comely bride. All of these you laid aside when you set yourself apart. One night he rises from his sleep, alone the midnight vigil keeps. The candles flicker, shadows creep around him. Although no sound disturbs his ear, he feels a presence drawing near, and in that moment all his fears confound him. At the cell door a woman stands. She reaches out to take his hand, says, "Henry, you must understand, I still wait. Once I would have been your wife, before you wasted all your life, passing your time here with the strife of nature. Oh, but tonight a gift is in my hand, time itself I may command. Return with me to our own land, the years will fall away." And in her eyes a flame burnt bold. He felt the warmth, he felt the cold. He was young and he was old, and all the world did sway. He tried to speak but no words came, his very thoughts he could not frame. In that moment he became unequal to the test set before him, such a choice? Would he despair? Would he rejoice? He tried, but could not find a voice to answer the request. Oh, with words still frozen on his tongue, he seized the bell rope there that hung. With all his strength upon it swung to summon Michael down. The Prince of Angels' name was cast by the bell founder in its brass, and so it suddenly came past beneath this dark world's bound. A crash of thunder split the night. The little room it flamed with light. There within his very sight, the woman was a maid. All her beauty was effaced. A fell spirit took its place. Foul of form, foul of face, it fades. And so the tolling of the bell was heard across the salt sea swell. It brought the boats of those who dwell upon the mainland shore. To Henry sitting calm and cold, the bell rope still within his hold. His suffering done, for now his soul had flown to heaven's door. The Last Temptation of Saint Henry. Right, becoming a bit more recent. In the 19th century, part of Northumberland became a great coal mining area. Sort of the southeast quarter around Newcastle up as far as Morpeth. And a few years ago, a friend who was in Greenpeace was protesting against the coal board trying to open up a great big open cast at Druridge Bay, which I thought would have been a bad idea. And he asked me to write a song about it. Whenever I'm asked to write a song, honestly, I struggle. So I failed. But 5 years later, suddenly it came together in my head. So I'd only had a few lines. In the end, it came together. So this is Let the Black Seam Sleep Beneath the Hill. So a song about coal mining, the end of coal mining. And while I don't think it's a very good idea to be burning fossil fuels with what we know about the world these days. Gantries are all rusted. The wheels that spun against the sky are still. The old men taken one by one, bowed down by weight of years. The lines are pulled up, all the shafts are filled. The architects and planners still playing out their games. They think they hold our future in their hands. There's some things they can't change, some scars they can't erase, scars across the people, the land. The smoke that shrouded heaven has been cleared by the wind, the stream down in the valley running clean, young woods growing up on soil spread out across the slag. Grey replaced now by the creeping green. Oh, but not all things return to what they were before. Only time will tell the mounting cost of the days we burned the very earth that lay beneath our feet, for short-term gain and unknown long-term loss. So let the black sea sleep beneath the hill, and the earth to rest heavy in these fields. There are ghosts here rise unquiet, there are wounds that never heal. Don't go back, don't go back, don't go back. adds distance but no distance. Can unwrite words once written in stone, though the worlds that shook another generation are just newsreels on screen now, past and gone. All we ever did was expedient in our eyes, when the world is one that we laid claim to own. But all along the truth was we just borrowed. Now who can pay the interest on that loan? So let the black seed sleep beneath the hill, let the earth rest heavy in these fields. There are ghosts here, eyes unquiet, there are wounds that never heal. Don't go back, don't go back, don't go back. The girders and the gantries are all rusted. The wheels that spun against the sky were stirred. The old men taken one by one, bowed down by weight of years. The lines are pulled up, all the shafts are filled. Don't go back, don't go back, please, don't go back. Let the black seam sleep. To finish up, because we're getting half an hour or so now, this is another song about recreating the past that never was, in slightly tongue-in-cheek. And it's about, it happens inside the church, Celtic Christianity. It's got lots of good things in it, but to some extent, it's a recreation of something that people want, rather than something there's really good historical evidence there ever was. So this is called Holy Columba. Well, I was walking one day by the cold western ocean, through the swirling sea mist a lone figure came. Though it was blowing a gale, he was wearing a halo. I fell down before him and I called out his name. Oh, Holy Columba, please write down my number and give me a call when you're back at your place. Please say you don't mind and you're not surprised to find you're leading us all in a real wild goose chase. Now there are high crosses rising in council house gardens, and enough Celtic blessings for every tea town. Computer consultants are waxing exultant at prayers to be said when they're milking the cow. And there's sweet young Fiona on the Isle of Iona with a comforting text that's a poster that sells, and station book vendors are expecting to tender with Vogue a 90 in the Book of Kells. All so romantic, it's driving us frantic, a publishing dream, and our sights they are set as Northumbrian clergy put out new liturgy with interlaced borders on the internet. And there's Celtic praise music, a wide range you choose it, so simple and honest, so ethnic and true. But men beating bodhrans are there in their squadrons, with MIDI, bagpipes and synthesizers too. You must own the rights on this whole merry dance. I trust that you'll profit from all that comes off it, and that Cuthbert and Aidan got paid in